If you look at that, China, 67%. So we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%. I think, in other words, they charge us, we charge them.
停止威胁讹诈，在平等、尊重、互惠的基础上同中方对话。
The global trade war. Beijing is hiking its retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods today from 84% to 125%. And for the first time since this all started, we're actually hearing from the Chinese President Xi Jinping himself.
That tariff isn't removed by tomorrow at 12 o'clock. We're putting a 50% tariff on above the tariffs that we put on.
Leaked Briefing 2025. A 145% tariff just hit Chinese tech. But it's not about jobs. It's about breaking the system, quietly. AI's future is the collateral. Prices will surge. Factories will stall. So is this really about protecting jobs? Or is it about making sure only certain hands touch the levers? And while you're watching the headlines, someone else is rewriting the rules of global trade. BlackRock sees it. The Fed's test-driving digital dollars. This isn't strategy, it's controlled collapse, and you might not be allowed to trade at all. The politicians say it's about jobs. They say it's about being tough. What they don't say? It's a system designed to fall in line, not stand up. Yeah, because nothing screams economic patriotism like playing dodgeball with global supply chains and calling it strategy. That new 10% tariff President Trump wants? It looks like a bold move, but scratch under the surface and it smells more like a plan to bend the market into shape, not by fixing it, but by breaking it first. You hear, bring jobs back. But how? Factories don't just pop up because a price tag slapped on imports. It takes time, tools, and trust, none of which grow in chaos. And tariffs? They are chaos in a suit, slowing things down, piling costs onto products, making daily life heavier without lifting a thing, cutting into options, thinning the shelves, and what slips through costs more. That extra 145% hit on Chinese goods, that's not a penalty. That's a wall that doesn't stop trade, but redirects it. Smart companies won't just eat that cost. They'll reroute, dodge, and detour. It's not policy, it's a game of whack-a-mole. Only the moles are factories and the mallet is labeled tariff. Some will even shift factories to nearby countries, slap a new label on it, and call it local. But nothing about that makes America stronger. It just makes the maze harder to see. It just means more middle steps, more middlemen, and more misdirection. More ways to push the same stuff through different doors. But if the market's getting pushed to the edge, who's already leaning into the curve with eyes wide open? BlackRock? Oh, they see the game. They already talked about it. They know 10% is the new normal. They know artificial intelligence and megatech will take the lead in playing around the rules. Why fight the system when you can code around it? Their bet? The market bends, not breaks, but only for the players with the right tools. They don't build factories, they build blueprints. They ride trends like waves and leave others to clean up the sand. Amazon isn't just tracking your orders, it's gaming the border. In 2024, they filed patents for AI that predicts which shipments clear customs before they even ship. That's not logistics, that's foresight with a badge. That brings us to the wild card, the billionaire who doesn't wait for rules. He rewrites them on the fly. And what about Elon? He's not cheering. Not because he loves China, but because he hates red tape. He wants free trade, clean and simple. But if Tesla cars made in China cost way more, guess what? He finds a workaround. New plants, new borders, same game. It's not patriotism, it's chess. He builds where he must. Moves fast, shuffles teams, redirects shipments. Picture Elon Musk side-eyeing your import taxes while building a new plant in a country you've never heard of. Free trade with a VPN. He doesn't wait, he adapts. But hold on, that's not even the real twist. Some think this is all just prep work. Not for a war, but for a world where money moves through wires, not wallets. Where cash is code. Where trade is tracked like emails. Ever heard of central bank digital currencies? The Federal Reserve is already playing with one. Federal Now. It sounds harmless. Fast payments, easy access, but every step is logged. Central bank digital currency. Because who wouldn't want every grocery run to double as a surveillance checkpoint? Every coin leaves a trail. Every payment is part of a file. In fact, the Federal Now pilot launched in July 2023 with quiet headlines and massive implications. According to Bank for International Settlements reports from late 2023, over 100 countries are now exploring similar digital currency programs. While Wall Street checks stocks, the Pentagon builds digital gates. While headlines scream TikTok bans, China cornered 70% of global lithium refining, and now it's closing the gate. Private mineral deals are locking out the rest of the world. No lithium, no batteries. No batteries, no AI. Then there's the Defense Department. Yep, the defense folks. They're not just building drones. They're building trade platforms powered by artificial intelligence. Systems that can predict where your shipment is, how to tax it, and whether it's even allowed. Blockchain with a badge. We used to call it trade. Now it's performance art, complete with digital scorecards, blockchain tickets, and a surprise ending no one voted for. Customs by code. And that means control. Control over when, where, and how goods move. Control over who gets to play and who gets sidelined. And the World Economic Forum? This is their playbook, their blueprint. Every time something breaks, they step in with a fix. One that always involves more control, more layers, more quiet rules wrapped in calm words. And guess what runs it all? Data, artificial intelligence, patterns. They don't just watch, they plan, they adjust, they design systems that respond before people do. The World Economic Forum states in its 2022 policy brief that resilient supply chains must be digitized, monitored, and optimized. Translation: managed from the top down. And far from the noise, a new kind of brain is being trained to take the lead. Like DeepMind, Google's secret weapon, the one building brains for machines. If you think they're not eyeing supply chains, think again. A tangle of shipping lanes and taxes? That's just a big puzzle. And artificial intelligence loves puzzles. Especially when the winners are the ones who solve it first. And when the puzzle is supply chains, solving it means controlling who gets what and when. It's not just about policy anymore. It's about who controls the game. This isn't about saving jobs. It's about reshaping rules. Tariffs aren't tools anymore. They're tests. They check who can adapt, who can pivot, who can predict. And the answer isn't mom and pop stores. It's code, cloud, contracts written in math. Think of it as SimCity, but every click is a regulation, and every zone is a geofence data trap. Welcome to Trade, Ultimate Edition. Agreements enforced by algorithms, deals tracked by software. Now bring it home. Groceries, gas, laptops, they don't grow in your backyard. They cross oceans. And every step along the way now comes with a toll. Tariffs are the new kale. Everyone pretends they're good for you, but deep down, no one enjoys the side effects. That toll adds up. And who pays? Not the builder, not the banker, you. The buyer at the end of the line. The one who sees prices climb, but never sees where it started. Jobs fade slow, but when parts stop moving, so does the paycheck. And if your job depends on stuff coming in or going out, if your company builds with parts from overseas, get ready for hiccups. Maybe layoffs, maybe empty shelves. Supply chains don't snap cleanly. They tangle, slow, and scatter. And they don't fix fast. One link down, and the whole chain rattles. Still think this is just about tariffs? Or is it about rewriting who gets access and who doesn't? If every tap, trade, and scan counts, who's really in control? Tap like if this made you think. Comment below if you think this goes deeper than tariffs, maybe even deeper than code. And make sure to subscribe. Next up, we're diving into how Google DeepMind is quietly reshaping power behind the scenes. Still think this is about trade? You won't want to miss what's next.